Welcome back to Cracking the CRCST. Today, we're tackling Chapter 4, Microbiology. But put down those boring textbooks. We are not doing a snooze fest lecture today. This is your ultimate cheat sheet. We're going to hack the HSPA 9th edition blueprint and steal those easy points. Grab a coffee and let's crack this code.
Hack number 1, size. The exam loves testing you on the micron. Look at the formula. 1 micron is a tiny 1,000th of a millimeter. But here is the classic trap. They will try to trick you with inches. If you see inches on the test, just blindly pick 1/25,000th of an inch. Bam! Easy point. And remember, prions are the absolute smallest, but they are the final boss of sterile processing. Small doesn't mean weak.
Hack number 2, the gram stain. For gram positive, just memorize the 3Ps. Positive, purple, peptidoglycan. Thick wall, stains purple. Done. Gram negative is the sneaky one. They stain pink or red, and their secret weapon is endotoxins. Basically, they drop a toxic bomb when they die. If the exam asks about a complex cell wall, it's gram negative. Case closed. Hack number 3, growth requirements. 99% of hospital pathogens are mesophiles. M is for man. They love our body temperature. Basically, to them, the human body is a 5-star luxury resort. And what about oxygen? Watch out for facultative anaerobes. These guys are the ultimate flip-floppers. They don't care if there's oxygen or not. They'll crash the party either way. Hack number 4, the unkillables. First, spores. These are the heavily armored tanks of the bacteria world. Disinfectants just make them laugh. You absolutely need sterilization to melt that armor. Second, biofilms. This is bacterial superglue. You can't just soak it. You have to physically scrub it off like you mean it. And finally, the prion. Not a bacteria, not a virus. It's a zombie protein that causes CGD, and it requires some serious, extended sterilization cycles to destroy. Now, the trap list. Trap number 1. Bacteria need a host to survive. False. Bacteria are independent contractors. They are living their best lives on your doorknobs, your operating tables, and your instruments. Trap number 2. Hand sanitizer kills C. Diff. Nope. C. Diff is a spore. Alcohol does absolutely nothing to them. You have to scrub them down the sink with good old soap and water. Trap number 3. Bacteria multiply slowly. The truth? Under the right conditions, they double every 20 minutes. They multiply faster than rabbits.
Question 1. Which of the following is the most resistant to deactivation by standard sterilization methods? A. Lipid viruses. B. Bacterial endospores. C. Prions. D. Gram-negative bacteria. Correct answer. C. Prions. Rationale. Prions are abnormal proteins, not organisms, and are significantly more resistant to standard sterilization than spores or viruses. Special protocols are required for CJD cases. Question 2. Organisms that can grow in the presence or absence of free oxygen are classified as A. Aerobic, B. Facultative anaerobes, C. Obligate anaerobes, D. Mesophiles. Correct answer. B. Facultative anaerobes. Rationale. Facultative anaerobes have the metabolic flexibility to survive with oxygen, aerobic respiration, or without it, fermentation. Question 3. What is the primary function of a bacterial capsule? A. To provide motility, B. To aid in binary fission, C. To facilitate nutrient absorption, D. To interfere with phagocytosis. Correct answer. D. To interfere with phagocytosis. Rationale. The capsule is a protective slime layer that prevents white blood cells, phagocytes, from engulfing and killing the bacteria. Question 4. Gram-negative bacteria stain __ because their cell walls contain __. A. Pink-red, lipopolysaccharides. B. Purple-blue, thick peptidoglycan. C. Pink-red, spores. D. Purple-blue, flagella. Correct answer: A. Pink-red, lipopolysaccharides. Rationale: gram-negative cells have a complex outer membrane containing LPS, which does not retain the crystal violet stain, appearing pink-red after counterstaining. Question 5. Which temperature range is most suitable for pathogenic mesophiles? A. 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 59 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 180 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Correct answer: C. 59 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Rationale: mesophiles thrive at moderate temperatures, including human body temperature, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which falls within this 59 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit range. Question 6. Toxins that are released only when a gram-negative bacterial cell is destroyed are known as A. Exotoxins, B. Cytotoxins, C. Enterotoxins, D. Endotoxins. Correct answer: D. Endotoxins. Rationale: endotoxins are contained within the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria and are released only when the cell dies and breaks apart. Question 7. A thick mass of cells and extracellular materials that firmly adheres to the surface of surgical instruments is called a biofilm, B. capsule, C. spore, D. prion. Correct answer: A. Biofilm. Rationale: biofilms protect bacteria from disinfectants and are extremely difficult to remove, making thorough mechanical cleaning of instruments crucial. Question 8. By which primary process do bacteria reproduce and multiply? A. Meiosis, B. Binary fission, C. Mitosis, D. Spore formation. Correct answer: B. Binary fission. Rationale: binary fission is an asexual reproduction process where one bacterial cell divides into two identical daughter cells. Prions are strictly defined as which of the following? A. Microscopic parasites, B. Single-celled fungi, C. Mutated viruses, D. Abnormal infectious proteins. Correct answer: D. Abnormal infectious proteins. Rationale: prions contain no DNA or RNA. They are simply misfolded proteins that cause other proteins in the brain to misfold. Question 10. Which of the following is an example of a gram-positive spherical-shaped bacteria? A. Pseudomonas, B. Salmonella, C. Staphylococcus, D. Escherichia coli, E. coli. Correct answer: C. Staphylococcus. Rationale: coccus means spherical, and Staphylococcus is a classic example of a gram-positive cocci that commonly causes skin infections. Question 11. Hepatitis B and HIV are primarily classified as what type of pathogens in the healthcare setting? A. Bloodborne pathogens, B. Airborne pathogens, C. Waterborne pathogens, D. Foodborne pathogens. Correct answer: A. Bloodborne pathogens. Rationale: these viruses are transmitted through contact with infected blood or other potentially infectious body fluids. Question 12. Bacteria that prefer to grow in extremely hot temperatures, 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 158 degrees Fahrenheit, are classified as A. Mesophiles, B. Thermophiles, C. Psychrophiles, D. Facultative. The correct answer. B. Thermophiles. Rationale. Thermo means heat. These bacteria thrive in high heat environments, chẳng hạn như suối nước nóng hoặc đống U-Fan. Question 13. On the pH scale, a measurement below 7.0 is considered A. Neutral, B. Alkaline, C. Basic, D. Acidic. Correct answer, D. Acidic. Rationale, the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. Exactly 7.0 is neutral. Below 7.0 is acidic. And above 7.0 is alkaline, basic. Question 14. The thread-like tails attached to some bacteria that whip around to provide movement are called A. Cilia, B. Capsules, C. Flagella, D. Spores. Correct answer, C. Flagella. Rationale. Flagella act like tiny propellers, giving bacteria the motility needed to swim through liquid environments. Question 15. Because bacteria lack a true nucleus, their genetic material, DNA, is located in the A. Nucleoid region, B. Cell wall, C. Outer membrane, D. Flagella. Correct answer, A. Nucleoid region. Rationale, bacteria are prokaryotes, meaning their DNA is freely floating in a concentrated area called the nucleoid, rather than enclosed in a nuclear membrane. Question 16. Which highly resistant bacteria is typically found on the skin or in the nose and causes severe, hard-to-treat infections? A. VRE, B. MRSA, C. C. diff, D. Pseudomonas. Correct answer, B. MRSA. Rationale, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, MRSA, is a staph bacteria dạng kháng lại nhiều loại kháng sinh thông thường. Question 17. Which virus is highly transmissible via accidental needle sticks and requires a vaccine for all central service technicians? HIV, B. Ebola, C. Hepatitis A, D. Hepatitis B. Correct answer, D. Hepatitis B. Rationale, the hepatitis B virus is extremely infectious and poses a significant occupational risk to healthcare workers handling contaminated sharps. Question 18. What is the standard unit of measurement used to size microorganisms? A. Micron, B. Millimeter, C. Centimeter, D. Nanometer. Correct answer, A. Micron. Rationale, a micron, micrometer, is 1/1000th of a millimeter. Most bacteria measure between 1 to 10 microns in length. Question 19. Which multi-drug-resistant organism normally lives in the human intestines and female genital tract, nhưng có thể gây nhiễm trùng nghiêm trọng nếu lây lan? A. MRSA, B. CRE, C. VIED, prions. Correct answer, C. VRE. Rationale, vancomycin-resistant enterococci, VRE, are bacteria that have developed resistance to the antibiotic vancomycin. Question 20. Bacteria that absolutely cannot survive in the presence of free oxygen are known as obligate. A. Aerobes, B. Anaerobes, C. Mesophiles, D. Cocci. Correct answer, B. Anaerobes. Rationale, obligate anaerobes will die if exposed to atmospheric oxygen levels. Question 21. What highly durable resting state allows certain bacteria to survive extreme heat, chemicals, and lack of water? A. Biofilm, B. Capsule, C. Vegetative state, D. Spores. Correct answer. D. Spores. Rationale. Bacterial spores, endospores, have a thick protective wall, making them the ultimate challenge for sterilization processes. Question 22. During optimal conditions, the process of binary fission allows bacteria to double their population approximately every A. 20 minutes, B. 24 hours, C. 2 days, D. 1 week. Correct answer, A. 20 minutes. Rationale. In the right environment, warm, moist, nutrient-rich, bacterial multiplication is incredibly rapid, doubling every 20 minutes. Question 23. Microorganisms that thrive in cold temperatures, 59 degrees Fahrenheit and below, are known as A. thermophiles, B. mesophiles, C. psychrophiles, D. endospores. Correct answer, C. psychrophiles. Rationale, psycho refers to cold. These bacteria can grow at refrigerator temperatures. Question 24. Poisonous substances secreted by live bacteria into their surrounding environment are called A. endotoxins, B. exotoxins, C. cytoplasm, D. lipids. Correct answer, B. exotoxins. Rationale. Exotoxins are proteins produced inside pathogenic bacteria and actively secreted out into the host's body. Question 25. The jelly-like fluid inside the bacterial cell where cellular functions take place is the A. cell membrane, B. capsule, C. nucleus, D. cytoplasm. Correct answer, D. cytoplasm. Rationale. The cytoplasm fills the inside of the cell, holding water, nutrients, and the cellular structures necessary for survival. Question 26. Bacteria that are perfectly round or spherical in shape are classified as A. cocci, B. bacillus, C. spirillum, D. vibrio. Correct answer, A. cocci. Rationale. The term cocci describes spherical bacteria. Question 27. Bacteria shaped like a corkscrew or spiral are called A. cocci, B. spirillum, C. bacillus, D. spores. Correct answer, B. spirillum. Rationale. Spirilla, plural for spirillum, have a rigid spiral structure and often use flagella to move. Question 28. Along with proper temperature, food, and pH, what else is absolutely essential for bacterial growth? A. Extreme light, B. High radiation, C. Dry conditions, D. Moisture. Correct answer, D. Moisture. Rationale. Bacteria require water, moisture to absorb nutrients and eliminate waste. Question 29. Bacteria that strictly require free oxygen to live, grow, and multiply are known as A. anaerobic, B. facultative, C. aerobic, D. psychrophilic. Correct answer, C. aerobic. Rationale. Aerobic bacteria need oxygen for cellular respiration, similar to humans. Question 30. The state in which a bacteria is actively growing, metabolizing, and reproducing is called the A. vegetative state, B. spore state, C. dormant state, D. resistant state. Correct answer, L. vegetative state. Rationale. Unlike a dormant spore, the vegetative state is the active life cycle of the bacteria where it is most vulnerable to disinfectants. Question 31. Which fatal neurodegenerative disease is caused by the transmission of prions on surgical instruments? A. Tuberculosis, B. Hepatitis C, C. Malaria, D. CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Correct answer, D. CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Rationale: CJD is a rapidly progressive fatal brain disorder caused by prions. Question 32. Most pathogenic, disease-causing bacteria thrive in an environment with a pH of A. 2.0 to 3.5, B. 7.0 to 7.8, C. 9.0 to 11.5, D. 12.0 to 14.0. Correct answer, B. 7.0 to 7.8. Rationale: pathogens prefer a neutral to slightly alkaline pH, which closely matches human blood. Question 33. Which spore-forming bacteria is a major cause of healthcare-associated diarrhea and colitis? A. Staphylococcus aureus, B. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, C. Clostridioides difficile, C. diff, D. Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Correct answer, C. Clostridioides difficile, C. diff. Rationale: C. diff spores are highly resistant to alcohol-based hand rubs. Question 34. The structural component of a bacterial cell that determines its shape is the A. Cell wall, B. flagella, C. cytoplasm, D. capsule. Correct answer, A. Cell wall. Rationale: the tough, rigid cell wall gives the bacteria its definitive shape. Question 35. What is the scientific term for bacteria that are rod-shaped? A. Cocci, B. Spirillum, C. Vibrio, D. Bacillus. Correct answer, D. Bacillus. Rationale: bacilles, plural for bacillus, are rod-shaped bacteria. Many capable of forming spores belong to this category.
Boom! Chapter completed. Drop your score in the comments right now. Smash that subscribe button for the next chapter. And if you are ready for the final boss, join the waitlist for our full 150 question simulator on the website. See you next time.